basically when you were judge, you were not running the show, but you were in charge. And but being mayor, you had a great number of personnel that you had to be aware of and to understand what they were doing and how you could work together. Actually, being a mayor is like being an administrating it. And the biggest advantage, I would say, in working with people is to know them and to share with them their problems and their successes in a family-oriented way.
And I think your mayoralty was a little unique in that you had just come here, you weren't from the old established Glen Cove people, and you took on a time, again, that there was a lot going on between the parties.
And you were the first time full-time mayor.
Yes,
I mean,
first time full-time, so you had a lot of challenges to face on that mayoralty.
I always, to be honest with you, I always thought I was better at attempting to resolve bigger issues. The smaller issues, to me, didn't give me a lot of interest, you know. And as mayor, you have to put up with a lot of stuff. I mean, number was in the phone book, so people would call you up at all times, you know, to them maybe was a big issue, but in the overall
They have a question.
scape of things is not.
About the geese, they've come to visit.
They're squawking, they're protesting.
Coming to interview
They're
you,
protesting.
Right, the first thing, okay, that I did when I got in was to change where the child daycare center was going to be located. They'd gotten a grant to build a daycare center, Jimmy Davis, and they had been placed down by the incinerator on Morris Avenue, and that's not going to go. So I found a place where it is now at the water department, and I arranged, that's off of 107 down there, where it is now.
Now, I'd love to be back in those offices again with the experience I have and all that I know and how much I could get done. But I think that if I was the same person now, taking those jobs with those problems at the time, I wouldn't have done the things as dramatically as I had done. I would have been much more cautious. So I think it was good that I was young. Youth brings a certain energy and vigor and idealism and excitement and courage to just go do things.
And I've been asked to run for higher office now since this, and I wouldn't because, you know, to me, the most important person in government is your local mayor, your local elected official, because you know what they say flows downhill, okay? And it all comes to the local level. The federal government says something, they mandate something, it gets passed to the state passes it to the county, and we get with it. But also, as the local mayor, you can really effectuate real change. You can actually make a difference. You know, you can help people with so many different things. And you know, and Glen Cove has had its struggles. I never blamed anyone for what I inherited. I inherited what I inherited. And we did very well. You know, change comes tough for people, and it comes even tougher for people in Glen Cove.
Like I said, I didn't run for mayor because of my ego, because I wanted to be mayor. I did it because my town needed help.
Well, they'll always need help.
Well, the thing is, I stepped up to the plate at a critical time, and I think it was good that I was here when the recession hit, because we started fixing the city's financial problems. The master plan started because we decided that, you know, I heard about McMansions and everything. We decided to put a moratorium on subdivisions. So if you have a house that was on 5 acres, that acreage is worth a lot of money. So you tear down that house, you build 8 houses there, whatever, or 10 houses. I put a moratorium on subdivisions, which, by the way, helped preserve the Red Spring Woods. That person wanted to sell his homes. He was going to build 9 homes in there. My moratorium locked up, so he sold to the county. He sold to the county under the Open Space Initiative. So even though I didn't get credit for it directly, it was the moratorium that forced him to sell it without any development costs. He got his money without selling it, having somebody else make a profit on it. So those 9 acres are there because of the moratorium.
I never went on the Russian property while I was mayor. And while I was mayor, Khrushchev came to visit Glen Cove to visit that place while he went to the UN.
Yes.
And what happened was that we knew he was coming into Glen Cove the following day. So a group of people I knew asked to meet with me. I said, fine, come on down. I think they came to my house. I'm not sure whether it was my house or City Hall. And what they wanted me to do was to put a blockade at the ends of Glen Cove, not to let them in. I said, what are you, crazy? I'm not the Department of State. You go do it. So anyway, he came and then they said he held a press conference in the roadway, which he really didn't, but it became local lore and people talk. But he landed in the ball field behind my house, where I used to live on Tulane Road, and that's where they delivered them from there to Killingworth.
Well, yeah, well, I had a full-time city attorney, and we began an action against voter circuits because in the early 70s they had dumped chemicals into an area right near what had been one of our water wells, and we successfully sued them and got $750,000.
Then in 1960, thereabouts, we put the arterial in. Therefore, I give you a break. You could go. The Glen Cove Road had a bypass then to bypass the city if you're going towards Seacliff and so on. But and even Forest Avenue at that time was only 2 lanes.
Like Glen Cove, for example, nobody's coming to Glen Cove unless you're coming to Glen Cove. So you have to create it so it's a destination point. Nobody's driving through on the way somewhere else. In fact, even on our roadways, my father built the arterial highway to bypass the downtown so you could avoid the traffic. Well, that's one of the reasons our downtown's dead. Sorry, Dad. But,
It was a good idea at the time.
it was a great idea at the time because it was a different development at the time. But you're not going to downtown Glen Cove unless you're going to downtown Glen Cove. If you look at downtown Huntington, the main road goes right through the downtown. 25A goes right through the downtown. So that's one of the reasons it's so happening, because you have 50,000 cars driving by every day.
So we got the water, we got projects done. The waterfront was almost 30 years, got that done, okay? The Village Square was about 8 years, got that done. The villas up the road there, we got that done, okay? Cole School sat dormant for a while. That's in the process of being sold to the School for Learning Development here. Not that they're moving another school in over there. So we got those things done. And I did it without really, your average tax increase was about 0.5% a year, and I did whatever I had to do to protect the taxpayers. I didn't compromise on city services. Quality of life improved. Everything was running very well.
Let's see. Oh yeah, we did the Mill Pond refurbishing, the gazebo, the walkways, and the plantings right across the street. Basically.
Oh, that was your administration?
What?
You did that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was in here.
I lost to Andy in '67 by 100 votes, I think, 90 votes, whatever it was. Very close.
Did
But-
you enjoy being mayor? You seemed like you had
in fact,
hesitation.
I learned a great deal as mayor, but it was I think it was the right, whatever happened for the best, because I could then go back to law. And I certainly appreciate the opportunity that I was given by the residents to serve them, and it's nice. It's very, very nice to really be able to effectuate change for the community that you were born in. That you were born and raised in,
You did good things. You did well.
There's always 2 sides to every story,
No,
and
there's
usually
3.
the truth is somewhere in the
I was going
middle.
to say there's 3 sides.
The truth is somewhere in the middle.
Mm-hmm.